Susie likes to do the Vogue.
Susie has to light a candle. Susie's gone. Susie said, fuck this shit.
I'm gonna have to find new music for next year.
I think you're right. I think we deserve a whole new intro. Even though I really do like this one.
Whoa now. Do you think I have all the time in the world?
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
Yes, I do.
Maybe I'll just make a how-to of how to make a intro.
And then I'll comment on it.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
Is it Halloween yet?
It is. Is it time to open? Haunted house is open yet?
I can't get away from a vision.
Hey, does anybody know if Tater from Froggy's Fog needs a vacation?
A voice in my heart like a tart singer sing. I wonder who's kissing her now.
Elmo needs a
The
vacation.
house is haunted by the echo of your favorite.
But did Elmo get a new two-piece swimsuit?
The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived long, much long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
Let him in. Oh man, it's a man who wants to sell me some tents.
I'm here to talk to you about your extended warranty.
Did she just whisper sweet nothings into my ear?
I don't know if it was sweet, but it sure was nothing.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
I had to get my toque.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic Haunt Hour. Dan Doble with the ever so beautiful Susie. You're lucky she's here, Fleesick, and the even more beautiful Troy Crivelone.
I was gonna say, let's get this right. I got my toque on. I got my toque ready.
Hey, tonight we're talking about Canadian haunters and all the cool shit they do in Canada, eh?
Yeah, we are. I think they hate when we talk about them like that, eh?
I think they do. Every time I think of Canadians, I think of South Park, though, with their like heads, and their heads split apart.
Yeah, that's how you know they're from a different country.
Yeah.
You know what I think of when I think of Canada? It's the Adam Sandler movie where all the friends get together and all the girlfriends go to the water park.
Yeah.
You see that hot ass guy getting out of the water, and then he starts talking like Canadian. That's what I think of every time I think of Canadian.
You think of hot ass guys when
I think of hot ass guys in speedos that talk Yeah, well,
wow.
what it is.
Hot ass guys in Canada.
That's
Got
what
it.
I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
I've been to Canada. I mean, I'm sure there are some hot ass guys there, but there are also some not hot ass guys there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Don't say hot ass guys anymore, or I'm leaving.
So speaking of hot ass guys, did we hear about a special? What was it? Is it 22 years, Susie?
Oh yeah, 22nd anniversary.
With your
wedding
hot ass guy?
With my hot ass guy, my hot ass Troy.
Yeah.
Did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah.
That was well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Don't worry, I hear it all the time at my house.
Right. I was gonna say it's something you're used to. So, but it's interchangeable. Whatever Troy you're speaking of is hot ass Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So
what did you guys do anything fun for your 22nd?
That's so cute. You're funny. So basically, this Saturday, which was our 22nd wedding anniversary, September 18th, which is funny because it fell on a Sunday or a Saturday, which was when we were married. So, that happens every once in a while. But anyway, we had actor training on Friday night, and then we were supposed to have friends and family on Saturday night. And apparently we're one of the only haunts that do friends and family, which our friends and family is like our dress rehearsal. So everybody's in full costume and makeup. We run it like a regular night, except it's obviously the actors, friends, and family. We give each actor about 6 tickets, but they're not physical tickets to just put the names down on a list. And then they come in at the door, they go through, yada, yada. I canceled it actually on Saturday morning because I didn't feel like we were ready. I think the actors will be fine without an actual practice since we had training on Friday, which we don't normally do. But I canceled it because I was just having like a moment that turned into like, I quit everything. And then I was like, actually, that's a really good idea. Let's cancel it. And you know how like,
yes,
I don't know how well you know me, but I'm just like, I quit. Yeah. So it was an I quit moment that actually wasn't a bad idea. I was like, oh my God, actually, maybe we will quit. Like, this is a really good idea. So we didn't do it. We canceled it, put the thing out on Facebook on our actor page. And we were like, make sure everybody everybody invited knows not to come, which was really cool. Nobody came, which was great because I didn't want to be like, sorry, we're not doing it. Didn't you hear, But the reason we canceled is because like our lighting wasn't finished fully, and I always worry about safety and things like that. And I just, there's still like, we have this system, which I'm sure it's very unique to just our haunt, which I'm kidding, it definitely isn't, where we take the junk that needs to be out of the scene and we put it in like this place, and then it goes from this place to this place, and then until it's eventually put away. So we still had our junk piles out. And that the junk piles are literal junk, and anybody could get hurt on that. And I just was like, we don't even have time to move the junk. And so it was definitely a good call. But we did have about 10 actors come and get in full costume and makeup. And a friend of mine who used to work for the local cable company, but has quit like, I think last week or last month he quit. He came and he did like promo videos for us for Facebook.
Oh, awesome.
I haven't seen him yet, but I was like in there watching, and it's exactly what I needed. Like, even though we didn't have friends and family, it was exactly what we needed. What I needed is to see my actors just in a scene with like the camera on them. In a weird way, it felt like we were filming a porn. I'll explain.
Why? Because you were peeking? Because you're
Well, like
peeking around the corner.
he's like this, and he's like down low, and my actor would be like maybe crawling and doing
Yeah.
whatever, and then I'm kind of like right next to him, like yeah, put your arm, like get your arm, and I'm getting like all down, and I'm like, okay, this is really weird.
Wait,
I was like, no,
do that again.
cock your head to the side and go like, it was so bad. Like I'm making it sound a lot worse than it was, but it was what I needed. My soul like totally needed that because seeing some of my best actors like doing their thing for the first time this year, and I'm actually not going to get to see that since I'm acting this year. So it was what I needed. So it was a good call. No friends and family. I think we're done with it forevermore. Sorry to anybody that whatever come, but I think we're done. A couple friends of mine that own haunts are like, yeah, you're stupid. Don't do that. Get the rest of your crew to walk through and they can be, the judges on, what needs to change. But other than that, I'm not obviously down at the haunt right now, but Troy is, hot ass Troy, right?
Yeah.
Hot ass Troy. Okay.
I'm right here.
Haunt
Oh,
ass Troy or
sorry.
haunt ass Troy?
The other hot ass Troy.
Yeah.
He's down at the haunt doing some things. I think actually screwing some desks to a wall. We like to screw things around Crawford. We screw
balls
a lot.
and
Yeah. So he's putting some desks. We got a really good steal on some desks yesterday at an estate sale. So we can never have too many desks in a haunted school. So he's doing that. And then I'm here. I didn't even go down tonight, which is like feels weird because I'm there every day. But I just had a long day at work, and I know I have a long week ahead of me haunt-wise. We open on Friday, and I can't find anybody to food then. So, yay!
Well,
no.
So what is going to be your character this year?
Me, I am the school nurse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be sure to take.
Are you limiting yourself to a room, or are you going to be?
I am in the nurse's room. I'm the school nurse in the nurse room. And I am actually not going to be. I'm going to be verbal but not in like a talking way. So I think actually my mouth might be covered. I'm not sure. We haven't really completed my makeup look, but I have full confidence that my makeup team is going to make me look amazing. I got contacts, which I've never worn before, and I guess I should probably practice putting them in. So but I'm excited to like not actually be in the center of all of the like drama because that's where I don't want to be. I'm in it now, but I'm ready to not be in it because I just want to act and have fun and have a good night.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got it.
So what does Troy do? Is he the
Troy's just walks around and does like whatever needs done. Yeah. He wears the earpiece. I can't do an earpiece. If I do an earpiece, I will lose my shit.
So he's the firefighter. He runs out and puts all the fires out, right?
Yeah. He pretty much stands outside and kind of. There's usually nothing. Knock on wood. We have a pretty decent crowd that comes and we haven't had issues. We have four security guards, and then we have other people outside. We have our outdoor axe throwing trailers. We have somebody on there who's actually a security guard herself, so she could definitely pitch in if we needed something. And then ticket people, and we have a lot of people, front door people. We have a lot of people around, so if anybody sees something, they can always radio. And then Troy will be in and out doing his thing. We have somebody running the 60-minute escape room, and we have somebody running our indoor axe throwing as well. So. Awesome. Pretty covered.
Are you excited? Do you think you're gonna have a big turnout this year?
I think we'll be okay. We actually had people show up on Saturday night. Not friends and family people, because those people would have come at 7:30. People that thought we were open, pulling in, and they're like, "You guys open tonight?" And we're like, "I hope not. There's like 6 cars here. This is pretty pathetic." But, but there was one point. It was about 9:30 at night, and we were filming the promo videos, and I was in a room with my son, and I heard like screaming, and I thought it was my actors, like my younger girl actors. That's what it sounded like, and I didn't pay any attention to it. And somebody came walking in the actor room, and they were like, "There's a bunch of teenagers in the hallway," and I'm like, "Huh?" Really? So I go out, I don't see anybody. I run outside and I see this car with lights on, and I see my actors, like 4 of my actors in full costume and makeup, like running towards this car. Okay. And they're going, ah! And I'm like, "Oh my God, guys, stop." And I have this flashlight and I'm shining it on. I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" And when I start to scream, my voice gives out. So it's like nothing comes out. And I'm like trying to like figure out what's happening here. So this car starts up and it like starts pulling away. And I'm like, "Guys, back away from the car." Like, oh my God, I can just see Facebook lit up that night or the next day. "Don't go to Crawford. The owners are stupid and, they don't care about safety." And I'm like, so I'm standing with my flashlight and the car stops on the road, and I walk out and I have my flashlight and the window's down in the back, and I shine my flashlight in, and it's these 4 blonde teenage girls, and they're going, ah! And I go, are you guys okay? And there's a dad driving and nobody in the passenger seat.
Oh,
And he looks at me and he goes, that was awesome. We'll definitely be back on Friday. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. And I'm like, okay. And I'm
Okay.
like, you guys got
the hell just happened?
there. I know. I was like, they were like, we didn't know if you were open, and we saw a door open. I don't know who does that. And just walked in, and because it was warm out and we just had a door open. And he's like, and we walked in and my girls saw some of your characters and started freaking out. And the girls were like, and I'm like, you sure you're okay? And they're like, yeah, you know, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, thank God it ended that way and not like, your actors touched our car or anything stupid like that.
Right.
So, so that was good. That was a, whew.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, it was like what I needed. I was like, yes,
Good
teenage
way-
dreams.
Teenage girls.
Love it.
Yes.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I think we're ready. We're going to be ready. It's going to open no matter what. I mean,
Yeah.
but I've been hearing a lot of a lot of my friends that have pro haunts are in the same spot we are with like, I don't know if we're ready. And I feel like that's just the feeling this whole year because help has been very minimal. It's been hard to find help to help build. And I'm hearing that over and over and over again. So if you go to a haunt and you see something's not finished, please don't comment on it. I'm not just mine. Any haunt, everybody out there is working their ass off. So
the fact that they're open is the main point. Just go enjoy it, have a good time, and write a good review when you leave.
Or shut up and don't say anything.
Right. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything
at all. Yep, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of not saying anything nice, but still talking, Troy, anything exciting going on?
You know what? I do have something, and I have something very awesome and fun and heartwarming.
All right.
Time.
Well,
no more, you know, we haven't had any deaths. We haven't had any nasty news. So, but I have something that is awesome. So I came across this post in Halloween Yard Haunts and Props of somebody who did something very nice. So as you can tell, there's rose petals and there's, you know, there's candles. Oh, sorry. I ruined it. So
you totally went the wrong way.
I know. So I didn't know which way to go. Shh.
I didn't
see that. You didn't.
I didn't see it. I see what.
So now you have rose petals going to the deck there, and then there's nice little heart pumpkin.
Oh yeah, heart pumpkin.
You got a nice little S and B, you know, little thing, and then
it doesn't get any better than that,
right?
I'm telling you.
Who's the lucky haunter?
It is I know Cordy Riggs is the one who did that helped do all of this. Yep. I had the name and I forgot it already. But she did say yes. So
that's
good. I hope so.
Right after all that.
Right.
So, but it's very cool that they used a 12-foot skeleton, and you know,
that's awesome.
And so it's something else you can do with Halloween. You can
there you go.
I know that Troy, Franz, and Angie, we used Halloween because he was having a party, and so he decorated the front all nice and cute with like Christmas lights and everything. And then we walked through. He actually built a walkthrough in his backyard like he normally did, but much different. And we walked through some scary stuff, and she thought it was great. And I was the one doing the camera, and I had to walk backwards through the haunted house to get to the main part. I had to do it like 10 times to get it right. And he was waiting at the very end of it. And I believe he was dressed as Beetlejuice. I can't remember, or if that was later. But he asked her to marry him in the haunted house in his backyard. And of course, she said yes as well. So relationship goals, people.
Yeah. When I owned Oblivion, we had a customer that loved haunted houses, and he wanted to propose to his girlfriend. So he dressed up in costume and sent her through and scared her. Took his mask off, got down on one knee. We stopped the show. We knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Stopped the show, and he got down on one knee and proposed, and she said yes. And then, you know, we comped him, and sent him on their way, and gave him a bunch of money. Yeah. It was really cool.
That actually happened to us in the escape room. This guy got a hold of us and asked. Yeah. He asked if he could propose. It was cute.
I know that Mike Ross, he runs Sinister Sydney. He pretty much every year, and he's an actual ordained minister as well. So he gets requests every year to do weddings, actual weddings at the haunted house.
That's cool.
But if ever anybody wants to see the video, I will put up a link to the video of us doing the proposal. But
Aww.
now this was 2017 when this happened. But yeah, so she goes through and then she he put up little signs that said, our next chapter starts now. And you can see there's lots of cool stuff. We had a giant party afterwards as well. But he did all kinds of haunty stuff. No, he was not dressed up as Beetlejuice, but Halloween tree, So at this point, she knew,
And there you were to share in the moment.
I was
Right.
very honored to be there for that.
Were you talking at this point, Troy?
I was not. I actually. Oh, he is.
Yes.
Wait, who is this?
This is Troy
This is
France,
Troy
Halloween
France.
Hellmouth.
What, Troy?
Halloween Hellmouth. He's
No,
in Seattle, Washington.
No, that's not what I mean. Hot.
Hot ass Troy. Hot ass Troy. Yeah. There
Hot
it
ass
is. There it
Troy.
is. Oh. It still gives me goosebumps. I get chills.
Good stuff. It's good stuff.
And he's so crying right now too. So
Aw.
But yes, so you can always propose or get married during Halloween too. It's a great time to do everything awesome, especially if you're a hot ass.
I feel like there's some sort of segue there with Canadian haunters.
Right, Canadian haunters sometimes get married in the month of October. That's what I've heard.
That's it. I knew there was a segue.
There's a segue somewhere.
Run with this, Troy. Run with this.
I'm running with it.
I've never been married in October.
You've never been married in October?
No.
There's no time like in 11 days.
Yeah,
Don't get married in hot season. You just
Okay,
heard my
Ben.
story.
Here's my proposal now, Ben.
See, there we go. See, we made a love connection. That's so great.
It's so great. Troy's so happy.
Love is in the air tonight. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So we have Ben and you know what? I don't think I've ever said his last name out loud. I believe all Canadians have odd last names and sometimes first names, and I think that's just to mess with Americans. I don't think that's their real names. I think they just do this to Americans and then they laugh at us. It's great. But it's Krakowsky.
Sure, Krakowsky, or Krakowsky, depend, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
And then we also have Ken Honigman. I have been in his house. He has attacked me with his animatronics, and I still can't say his last name. So we have Ken and Ben.
Hey,
That's
sorry, I had to
how
pull
Ken
over.
and
I'm in my truck, and I can't fix that light.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're bright as ever, and that's great.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So Ben has been operating and helping out and working with the Fright Fest BC event, and Ken has joined in the past 6 years. Ken and Lilija run Anmore Manor as well, up in Vancouver, British Columbia, basically. And so the premise of tonight's episode is to talk about one of the coolest events that is done in the haunt industry, and it's done in August. And so Ben has been around this for a lot longer than I have. And so I want him to tell us about the history of it. And also you can tell us about yourself as well. Anything fun and interesting, how you got started in haunting and all that as well. So,
yeah, sure. I'll give you the quick little rundown of who I am. Right now I'm working as a prop master in film and TV. I'm at work now, and I've sort of had to take I've had to take all the stuff off the walls that my NDA wouldn't allow me to show. I started off my very first haunt, and what got me suckered in was as a little kid decorating the porch and scared some adults. And it was like, oh, the power of, scaring adults as a kid. And I got hooked. And from there, the rest is history. So Fright Fest BC. Back in the days, you guys all remember the Halloween L list?
Mm-hmm.
Halloween L and Howl 2000, and so I'm just looking through the Halloween L list, and all of a sudden there's this message from somebody in the Vancouver area and a group of a get together. And I was kind of shocked because I thought I had my finger on the pulse of everything Halloween in the area. And there's this group that got together last year, and now they're getting together again. And this was in technically, I think 2005. My first time was there in 2006. And a woman named Diana, Diana Zimmerman, yeah. She had a haunted Barnyard Phantoms haunted barn. And I think, is that what we're looking at now? Her haunted barn?
No, this is the 2014.
Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah, her haunted barn out in Surrey, BC, and it was just a wild amalgamation of whatever she could find, like old mattresses and pallets and real cow bones and just whatever the hell, and it was awesome. She got the local theater troupe to perform there and haunt it, and like with the high school kids, and so she got a bunch of us together, and it sort of started from there. And I think the first one was technically 2004, 2005. And in around 2007, so I guess we would sort of just do little workshops and teach each other things. Around 2007, we found out that this local campsite was doing themed weekends. So they would have, trick-or-treating weekend. Halloween in August was one of the big ones that caught our attention, obviously.
Yeah.
Also did like an Easter weekend and that other season in December, that other holiday in December, a weekend for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it caught our attention. And I think the first year we just went there and sort of just camped and took it in. The next year we asked them, hey, can we do some sort of haunted house? And I wasn't there for that year for the first haunt, but it was in this the attic of this building there that was just absolutely sweltering hot in August. No one was having fun. And the next year it moved to the picnic shelter. So that was there's Diana there. And so moved to the picnic shelter. We moved out all the tables. We built walls, and it's been going on since, I guess, 2008. And Halloween August. We built a haunt, and it goes up in about 3 days. Everyone brings the best stuff they have and builds a little room. And honestly, it's a pretty decent haunt considering it goes up in like 2-3 days in a picnic shelter. It's better than some of the professional haunts that I've been through and paid to go through. So yeah.
I mean, the amount of detail, I mean, this video is from 2014, but I mean, the amount of detail you have to know that this is just in a picnic shelter. This is long. I mean, this is right now we're going up, 3.5 minutes here. And I know it started right at the end of that, but,
how big is the shelter?
I don't know. Ken, what do you think? How about
Oh God.
20 by 30?
Well, okay.
I would say it's good 20 by maybe 40 feet.
20 by 40, yeah.
Maybe 30, somewhere around there. And then we deal with the outside a bit too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Build the graveyard around there, and the kids go trick or treating from campsite to campsite, and then come to our haunt.
So let me get this right. This is a bunch of people putting their stuff together.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's it's just a group of people. We we learn from each other. Sometimes there's been years where we've been a bit more organized and had little workshops. So we just bring our best stuff, and everyone does like a room. And there's definitely some are better than others, and but it's great. So there's been some absolutely ridiculous, amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. There, what he's showing now. I think it's really cool though, because that's a really neat take on, like, I always say what I think is scary, and the way I do my haunt isn't maybe not in line with what other people think is scary. So I think this would probably cater to everybody in some way, since it's not one person's idea or two people's idea. So I think that's what makes this place like really original. and there's probably something for everybody here.
What are we actually looking at, Troy? Because I don't think. Yeah.
This said it was a 2016 one, so I'm wondering if this is somebody else's. It was on your guys' page.
Oh, weird.
Maybe that's not. Maybe that's somebody else's stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Now, do you guys? Because I know. I mean, I've loosely followed because you guys always plan this event around the time that I go on my big family camping trip, so I usually can't go, which just means that you guys pick your date after I've already booked our big trip.
You've been actually. Have we invited you? Okay, sure.
I mean, unfortunately, yes. There have been a few people who have mistakenly not asked for permission and have invited me. Yes. But
we tell them it's in June.
Well, yeah. Why aren't you guys here? It's June. Where are you,
guys? I'm here, guys.
I brought all this stuff. This is crazy. But I've noticed that what you guys have done in the groups is that you basically, each person who says they're going to have a room says this is what I'm going to do. So is there like talk of like an overall theme, or do you guys just say this is my room, this is my room, this is my room, and it can go from clowns to zombies to spiders, or is there some sort of a group discussion about that?
We've tried. We have done some themes before. There was a bit of a hillbilly bayou theme that happened one year, but generally it's just whatever we're working on. It comes and it's a random amalgamation. But I remember, the theme, the year it was like a sort of a hillbilly backwoods theme. My friend Sean and I, we had this crypt that we wanted to do, and all of a sudden this banjo playing and hillbillies. So we thought, okay, how do we work this into the theme?
Right.
And so what we decided to do is, instead of just the crypt, it was a crypt where a group of people were curing sausages. So you're pushing your way through these sausages, and it was.
So since you guys do this in August, is for most of you, I'm assuming that you repurpose or reuse the themes and stuff at your own home, or is this, or are there some of you, or if not all of you, that just do this in August and then you're done in October? How does that work for you guys?
A bit of both for everybody. I know, Ken, a lot of the stuff that you bring goes into Anmore Manor.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a little bit of mix. I mean, the biggest thing that I find is, as all of you guys are Halloween people, is you don't get to see other Halloween people that during Halloween season because you're so busy building your own. And this gives us all a chance to see each other in the summertime. And so people travel from Seattle, from Kamloops, which is like 4-hour drive, and it's the biggest chance just for us to get together. And some people even fly in. So the people that fly in obviously can't bring as much stuff as somebody that lives 20 minutes away.
Right.
And how many separate haunters are there that put this on? I mean, how many different groups
every season's different?
Yeah, it's it varies, dozen through 20-ish.
Wow.
And that's why it's hard also to do a theme, which, like you were saying, because everybody takes some of this from their home. And if you say, hey, our theme is clowns, and it's like, well, I got nothing with clowns. So it's like, oh, I can't help. So you kind of, it works better to say, okay, first get the room, and then you work together. Like, say, if two people have pirates or something, you can get them to work together and make one big room.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Actually, that's one of the coolest things is the working together too. It's just everyone does. They help each other out, and you might have a problem with something, and somebody has a little bit more expertise, and I'll cut you some wood, or I'll find you an extension cord that'll fit, and you turn around and something's plugged in for you, and it's just we all sort of help each other out with that. And it's kind of neat, just working together like that.
Yeah,
this was a good year, actually. This is a really good year.
It is. I love this one. I love the walls and everything in this one. you know, and that was, you know, because I started doing stuff with this region was when it was Fright Fest Northwest, and I know that was like a secondary thing to Fright Fest BC. That, you know, BC was always going on, but then a few of you would come down to you know, to the Northwest one and, you know, hang out, do make and takes and things like that. But then you guys always had the haunt part of it, and I remembered that when I started the association with Scott Shear, that we wanted to take that exact sentiment that, you know, you guys are helping each other out, and this is a time to, you know, hang out with each other and things like that, and to learn from each other. And that's how we based the association on that, was that we wanted that to be the overall feeling through the entire year, was that even though you guys do it only in August, that now there was this association along with your guys's in Canada to basically foster this big giant community that does this all year round. But I think out of everything that I see, you know, I've hung out with the Chicago haunt builders, you know, and I know what the SoCal haunters will do with their make and takes and stuff. What you guys do with this, I think, is just one of the coolest things that is done in the haunt industry, because of what you said with how it being, you know, to help each other out and to learn from each other, you know.
It's a good test too, because you're doing it like halfway to Halloween. So I mean, anything that you build, you can utilize twice. I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I'm actually surprised that it hasn't been done more.
Yeah, right. Same.
It's also a good excuse for the people like me who live in an apartment, who don't have a professional haunt. Who this is my haunt every year. Unfortunately, like, I do other events and do parties, or you know, when I can help out, but this is it for me. Unfortunately, right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's such a unique idea. I love it.
Yeah. And so, like, what is like the stipulations of like going to this event? Are there any, you know, rules and regulations and costs and all that kind of stuff?
It's varied a little bit with costs, but generally the campground gives us access to camp there for free and gives us a couple RV sites in exchange for putting this on. We ask, it's varied. We've tried different things. We've tried like an official, you know, be more official with this is what it costs to come. We tried donation stuff, but generally we all chip in towards things like renting a porta potty, supplies, you know, food and things like that, and it all usually works out in the end. Like the money just sort of more or less evens out, or we'll have a few $100 for, you know, this year we bought some extra plywood and some wood, and it went towards that. And Ken brought some stuff down to the dump that was all gross, and, you know, paid for that. So
right. That is really cool. And so the whole campground obviously gets in. So you guys, so was there like a parade too?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Is it something that like has caught on now and like everybody is super excited about it, or is it everybody's already excited about it? As really, have you seen a growing of people showing up for this event?
They actually have the campground does theme holidays now in the summer, so they do like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, and I think all of it's some weird thing at different times in the summer. And all the campgrounds, they have an in-house challenge. The best decorated gets a prize. And that's what the campground does for everybody. And they've told us that Halloween is their biggest sold out. You can't get a spot unless it's almost a year in advance.
Wow.
So it's hitting up for good.
So can only the people at the campground go through this, or can like everybody around go in?
That's a good question.
Technically, according to the campsite.
Yeah. I think they charge what I've heard, and it's not a profit for us. Right? We don't,
right.
we just do it for the campground spots for free. And they charge, I think they give tickets to the campers for free. And what I've heard is they charge like $1 or $2 for anybody that's outside the campground.
Oh, okay.
But there's not really that many outside the campground because, again, you're out in the middle of a small, like, park, right? So
Right.
Outside the campground, or if people want to go through twice, and there are a lot of people that do that. So yeah, everyone in the campground gets in once for free.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
And I know depends on who's running the thing at the campsite, but sometimes they discourage outsiders. But usually it's just no one really. If you're a visitor, you're a visitor. Yeah. But,
right.
And there's definitely people we see. There's just a dude in a wheelchair. We see him and his family every year.
Nice.
And a couple of years ago, we decided, and he'd never quite made it through. And like, we're not about wheelchair accessibility. We're about scaring people. And
right.
Diana said, "Look, this guy's here every year. Let's actually just get our shit together, make it wheelchair accessible, because he's here every year." And we did it our last actual proper haunt, and he was really happy. He finally made it through. She actually wrangled him up and put him in the haunt and made him scare people. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then I think this was this year. Yeah.
Yeah. This year, just because of the pandemic, we did a little bit of a different thing. It wasn't. It was more of a walk around rather than a walk through. We didn't go really in the picnic shelter so much. It was just sort of all open air, less. Yeah, it was just a bit of. Still looked pretty awesome, but less haunt. More of a series of displays.
Yeah.
So do you guys reach out to the campers as far as like volunteers and stuff, or do you guys bring your own volunteers? How does that work in this situation?
We've not. We've usually the campers are there with their families, so it's just us who does this, and yeah.
Well, a lot of it you guys build at your houses, and then you just you bring it in and set it up and stuff like that. But I mean, setting up that whole pirates thing, that's going to take a whole day to set all that stuff up. I mean, it's not just something you pop right up.
Yeah.
But. And you guys have had lots of practice at it too,
You got to be creative because, again, a lot of these people are bringing this stuff in their trunk of their car, so it makes it pretty hard to get elaborate. Except for that's my new piece this year.
That looks pretty damn elaborate.
I was going to say that did not go in the trunk of your car, Ken.
Well, Troy, if you know Lilia, my partner, she always buys things big.
Oh yeah.
So.
I'm surprised
Ken,
you don't have like a flatbed.
Ken, how do you get all your stuff? You bring a semi?
We actually, there's one piece. I don't know if you've seen the stall yet because I'm in my truck and I lost reception there for a bit. But it takes 2 trips with a flat deck to bring there. Because I don't know.
Yeah,
that piece.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's
so cool.
Yeah.
It comes 3 different pieces.
It's 3 pieces, and again, it's pretty big. It's 14 feet wide and 12 feet high. You can see the bin in the background there. And
where did you get that from?
Well, that's actually a funny story because it came from a TV show that Ben informed Lily about. I said no. I'm trying to remember the name of the show.
Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of the dark?
Okay.
Oh,
the new miniseries version. Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
So they were nice enough to donate it to us, and I'm like, no. And Lily is like, yeah. And I'm like, how you can get that here? And she figured it out, and she got a flat deck, and yeah, she's very creative that way.
It's ginormous.
But it's all styrofoam. So, but yeah, it's a lot of begging and pleading for other people the other 11 and a half months of the year.
Right.
And now that's another piece we just got of. There's 4 other sections that go with that, and that I'm going to be putting up this year. Thanks, Ben.
As he sighs about having to put this up.
Well, that's the thing about the film industry is we get rid of, once something's done, it sometimes goes in the trash and, or gets sold for pretty cheap. And I know Lily and Ken have been finding some good deals and auctions, and sometimes there's free stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys have a pretty big, Vancouver seems to be like one of the biggest there and Atlanta seem to be like the biggest places to do movies and TV shows. I constantly am seeing, Vancouver as where a lot of this stuff's getting filmed.
It's very busy here. Yeah.
Is it because of like the cost of doing it there, or is it just the varied landscapes, or what is it that makes them want to go there?
It's all tax incentives and good crews and good locations and it's everything. Yeah,
because you guys are pretty close. Obviously you have the water, you've got the mainland, and you've got mountains and stuff like that too. So you got forest stuff, and it's pretty diverse area, for them to film different stuff in. So that's cool. So also because we have not only Ben, we also have Ken here as well. What are Ken, why don't you tell us about yourself and Lilia and how you guys got started and all that, and about your haunt.
Oh God. I got it written there. Our haunt is called Anmore Manor. I guess it's about 10, 11 years that we started off as a house party, and it just kind of grew from there, and neighbors wanted to see that weren't invited to the house party. They wanted to see because we pretty elaborate, and it just kind of grew from there. And then we started going to a charity food bank, and from that, it's actually just became Lilia loves detail. And first I'm like, nobody sees it. They want to yell, they want to scream and hide their eyes, and nobody looks. And I find it very fun actually doing the detail. And I think we get the same, or not the same, but we double, triple our amount of people every year because they want to see that detail, and they can't because they are so scared. They know there's detail around them, but it makes them want to come again.
Right.
That to me is a little haunt. That's a haunt secret. What I've seen in the last year. That's just part of our build there. Is that the detail is what I'm hearing from people is like, oh my God, I wanted to go again, but the lineup was so big. I can't wait to go next year because there's more I want to see. But their partner or whoever it is, they're screaming and they don't see it, but they do see it subconsciously. If that makes the
yeah.
Because I've gone to a lot of conventions and they say the chainsaw scares, the back scare, number one scare stuff, and actually to me it's not, because it's scare, it startles you, but then it's annoying, right? Like it's like, okay, I get it, you've got a chainsaw, right?
Yeah.
But and that's it. Do you want to go to that haunt again next year just to see a chainsaw guy because he has a chainsaw? No. But when you see the detail and stuff, like you're walking through my house here, and there's no way you can see all the detail the first time.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know.
No.
And as you can see here, this is what my house normally looks like. Okay, just to let you know, and then this is what I change it to. Is watching that video. It's that room.
Yeah, that's the same room.
And you were telling us earlier, you actually build wall panels inside your house.
Yeah.
These are all panels. This right now you're walking inside the house. It goes from outside to inside, and then you can see, you can't tell. You're still inside the house here. And as you saw the previous picture, I'm very I call it, I'm anal about cleanliness and neatness of my house, so it doesn't normally look like this at all, obviously, right? Like, you don't nail anything to the walls or nothing. This has got to be very thought out.
So that's got to drive you nuts, Ken, to
Yeah.
put people through your house. Like
Yeah.
you're grunging it up and adding all these layers. I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But yet, if you're that particular about your house, like how do you get through the month of October?
I'm thinking about the shoes because everybody takes their shoes off at my door, and that would make me crazy if people were walking through my house with shoes on.
So I've got hardwood floor, and now you're in the garage part here. But what I've done is I cardboard all of the hardwood floor, and then I put an old carpet and roll it out over that. And then so I dispose of the carpet after. Get free carpet from renovations all the time, or even, like out here, it's movie sets have rolls of carpets that they don't all the time too. So if it's a rainy.
Oh no! Oh no! We lost Ken.
I think,
Oh no!
I think we lost him for a minute.
Anyway, yeah, the attention to detail in this.
Oh yeah,
house. I
This
mean,
is great.
it's
well, and
bonkers.
he builds all these things. Like he built this guy. He builds all of his own props. He does, this is a true home haunter in the sense he doesn't buy very much at all, like he bought a bunch of crows, and things like that. But he bought the skeleton, but then did all the stuff to it, and has, a good amount of actors in there, but he does a lot of this stuff all from, this is all his hit, their creations.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other haunter that. I don't know of any other. Oh.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I'm a
You're-
bad
Sorry,
guy.
my phone rang through my car and it disconnected me. But as a back up, sorry, I don't know what you guys said either. But yeah, so I put a carpet over top of that and it works wonders. So
Yeah.
and then
So
the
how
panels are structured like.
Your setup, Ken. How long does it take you to set up, and then how long does it take you to tear down? Like, are you like, I got to get this stuff out of the house, or is it kind of well, it's in the house, I'll take it down when I have the time?
The inside of the house, like I'm lucky because Leah loves Halloween. It's very tolerant for the inconvenience that the house is disarray because I probably have, 200-300 tons of stuff. Right? Like it's a mess for 2 months of the year of just taking everything down and unloading all this stuff and then decorating. Right. But the outside, we always tear it down before we call number 11. Just because I'm a leader holiday. Try to have it like we call it Remembrance Day out here. You guys, I think it's Veterans Day, right? So we try really hard to get down before then. I know with other people that keep their Christmas stuff up all year round that I should do the same. So
yeah, that's just
that,
crazy.
there's the normal outside. I got a very small lot outside.
It does, yeah.
And that's why, like I said, every year is completely different. Like it's a new structure every year, totally different look.
I've not
This
been
year we
to
actually did 2
haunt.
floors.
I've not been to Ken's haunt when it's been set up, but I've seen his house. I've been to his house, and they cram a lot in like a small area. It's pretty amazing because it's I mean it's a normal size lot. I think a normal size house, but every nook and cranny, every little corner is well thought out. There's a lot in there.
That's crazy.
So that's without the decoration. There's a house, and then it's starting to get built. So there's the walls, and then on outside where the actors are, that's the kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a giant spider I made a few years back.
How many years have you been creating a haunted house in your house?
How many what?
How many years have you been doing this?
Well, I'd say a good 10 years old, but in really the last 3-4 years have gone over the top like this with the detail, and now we've got a nice backstory for the wall haunt. That guy plays
Do you charge
deliverance.
admission?
So
Do you
What
charge
was
admission,
that?
Ken? This is
No,
Ben.
it's
Ben
all for
Krakowsky.
charity. We only do it for the Sheriff Society Food Bank. We do not charge anything. People just donate.
Did you ever?
We had any?
Go ahead, Ken.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you ever have any plans of like moving outside of the house and going to like somewhere bigger where you could actually create a professional attraction? I mean, this rivals.
Thought about
This
it.
rivals good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, that's my inside the house again there. So we even do the ceiling, as you can see. I've thought about it because I really enjoy it, but I haven't got there yet. It's like that thing where you say you love it as a hobby, but hate it as a job.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Yep.
and I haven't figured out what to do with that. Like out here, everything's so expensive. It's crazy, right? So real estate is, you can buy a condo for $1 million. So renting a warehouse to do this, you're spending $10,000 a month. What are you going to do for the other 11 months?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So that's inside my house. Yeah. I'm a volunteer firefighter, so I get all the crew from the fire department to act for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to be safe.
Right.
Fire inspection improved.
Yeah. This is probably the safest haunted house in all of Canada, and probably the U.S. as well.
We're very conscious of everything I can be. I've got over a dozen fire extinguishers put out, and you know how it is. You can't make anything fireproof. That's just a myth.
Yeah, right.
So, it's when I see that online, when people, you got to do the 2-second rule to burn things. Well, go ahead, try your curtain.
Yeah. It's true.
So if they want to shut you down, they'll shut you down. That's the thing. It's like you're only supposed to go 50 miles an hour, but everybody goes 60 miles an hour, right? So if they want to pull you over, they will.
Yeah.
This is paid guy there. So
now, have you've won awards for your haunt and your props, right?
We for the Canadian Haunters Association before the COVID, because they didn't have one last year, awards.
Right.
We've won a couple times for best home haunt.
Okay.
And so this year, now again, I know there's some great challenges out there, but I think people are going to be amazed because we've stepped it up, probably double more detail than what you're seeing here.
Wow. I don't know how that's possible.
Right.
I don't know either.
I know.
Crazy.
I'm what do you call it? When people give me challenges like that, I go for it. That was our fog. That was our swamp that we created. I guess 2 years ago now. Now that's a big hit. Everybody's doing it now this year. I hear like so many people are up on it. But everybody keeps telling me, it's like, oh, what are you gonna do next year? There's no way you're gonna be able to do yourself. And I'm like, damn you.
Challenge accepted.
So we put a second layer on our facade in the front yard. That's kind of one of my challenge. So now you can't see the house at all.
Oh, wow.
Do you ever have problems with the city? I mean, obviously you're a firefighter, but
I think that's the nicest thing is I live in a small town, so the amount of people we get is pretty huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of an outskirt town, and being part of the volunteer fire department helps quite a bit, obviously.
yeah.
Right.
And our street is a private street, so I don't have to abide by as many bylaws that way.
Right.
it's kind of like a townhouse strata, but they're not townhouses, so that you own the road in front of you. Like all those houses down that street own that road.
Oh, okay.
I want to block off the road. I don't have to ask the township. I just
Ask the neighbors.
ask the council. Yeah, there's
Okay.
that piece of my front yard.
I do love the one picture I really liked, and I loved, and this was probably done not even on purpose. I think it's right here. Is that the way that you lit the tombstone into the mouth of it?
It was I was actually, it was by fluke. It was off to his side of his face a bit when I turned on the light. And Lilia spotted that right away and says, "You got to move that light just right here."
Nice.
Awesome.
That is cool. See, it's all about lighting. It's all about lighting. That is cool. We have to show some scare footage because, you know, scare footage is the best to watch. So do you, and you don't have to say what it is, but what is, do you want to tell us what your theme is this year?
Okay, so what we've always had over the last 3-4 years is my partner Lilia, we call her Dr. Lilith, and she's been obviously in research.
Right.
So she has a lab, and we were trying to figure out what do we want her to be researching, and we just never told anybody. It's just researching on people, right?
Yeah.
Because what the problem I think with any haunter, at least us, is we love everything Halloween, and you start buying way too much stuff, and you can't store everything. It's like, oh, I got clowns, I've got, you know, zombies, I've got, you know, all these different characters. And I said, okay, we have to have a theme so that we don't buy, you know, antique baby carriages and stuff like that, right? So we did the research because we love the labs, and we've had all these kind of characters. We call them holding cells, where they're basically experimenting on people. And this year, I've all of a sudden came across an old book. It was 1897. You probably know the movie, even though it was bad. It's called The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the book was written in 1897, and what we're doing is we've got a backstory with a little bit of video clippage that we're going to have for the patrons while they're waiting to get in, and it's basically going to be that to tell you in under 2 minutes of Dr. Lilith is the great granddaughter of Dr. Moreau. And she's come back to the island where the manor, which is our Anmore Manor, to take on that research again. So that allows us to keep with the story of having our big lab, because we've spent thousands of dollars on test tubes, and like they're really the lab equipment in there is all authentic stuff. And so it allows us to stick with our theme a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we've kind of stole their story and made it our own. And we've always called it Anmore Manor, and we've got the inside of the house looks very old, and you know there's holes in it and it looks run down, and that's why, again, we've got back in 1896, Dr. Moreau was killed, and the place has been empty for 120 years. So you kind of expect it to look decrepit. So this year I've created a whole new library, is what I call it. It's so that the lab area is now moved to a different area, and as soon as you walk in from the outside gate, you're going into an old library with an old hallway, and then it'll be like a secret door to a lab.
I can't wait.
That's going to be awesome.
Oh.
Yes, we will have Ken and Lilia on next year. They're already on my list. So we will have a whole episode just about them, which will obviously feature their video from 2021 as well. So stay tuned for that. and you know, Ben, you'll probably see his name on credits for different movies and TV shows throughout the next several years, you know. So there's always that.
No big deal.
Do you actually have any shows that you can tell us that you've worked on, Ben?
I mean, the one that most people have seen is Lucifer. I did the first 2 seasons of that. I just worked on Turner and Hooch on the Disney Plus network. And I'm working on a show called Resident Alien right now, which is actually really good with Alan Tudyk from Firefly. So yeah.
Oh, nice. And so you're in charge of props and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, anything an actor holds, it's my job to make sure it gets there. And yeah, it's been fun. It's fun when there's that crossover where something from the props world that I learned here helps me in the haunt world, and vice versa. When something in the haunt world's like, hey, I know how to do that liquid latex, you know, like that's
right.
Yeah.
I had somebody asking me how to do some cobwebs the other day, and it's just, well, here's several ways you can do that.
Right. Ken, it was you who came up with the air filter thing, right?
Yeah.
Breaking apart the air filters.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's awesome.
All right, tell me about this, and then we gotta wrap it up. But tell me about, because I don't know what you're talking about. Talk to me about this air filter thing.
Yeah, you know, if you can find that video for them, that'd be great. And what it is that the industrial air filters are this very fine fiber, right? Just like your air filter downstairs, but that's different. They're different. Like, these are white air filters, and they're fire retardant, right? You can't light them on fire. And they feel very creepy because they've got a little bit of fiberglass. It's fine threads of fiberglass is what filters are. There you go.
Oh.
So you have the filters.
And that filter costs 10 cents. And it's layers and layers of this stuff. And you put that on something and it's permanent, and you can't light it on fire.
How do you stick it to wherever you're putting it?
You just like
It sticks to itself.
there, and then if you need to, I just put it on and it's stuck to it, right? But if you wanted to more permanent, spray some adhesive or something. But
Yeah.
fighting on
I'm
that,
doing
look
it.
at the spider webs better than anything, and you're not like when people walk through, it doesn't fall off.
Yeah. It's not like hot glue.
Yeah.
Well, you can find a lot of these. Like I always end up going to, you know, when I'm walking through Goodwill, I always go down that one aisle that has all the hardware stuff on it. And I always see like a stack of like 5 or 6 or 10 air filters. And they're usually for size, you know, somebody bought the wrong size, or the contractor bought a bunch of them and they just give them to Goodwill or whatever. And so you'll see just like a stack of them in there for super cheap, you know. But I mean, air filters are cheap onto itself. But when I saw that, I totally remembered about this as I was looking to, because at the end of each one of the shows, I always promote where they can find out more about each other. And I forgot that you had done this, and I was like, I got to talk about that. So yeah,
That's
air
awesome.
filters.
That's
Again,
Awesome.
I know fiberglass, but you're not shredding it up, so you don't have to worry about this in the air, right? Like this is stuff used in a furnace. So, because I remember somebody when I posted, they're like, "Oh, that's fiberglass. You know how bad that is for your lungs." Well, you're not shredding it, and you're not turning it into a dust form.
Right. And you're not putting it in your mouth. So there's that. You know, I hope
You
not.
work with way more dangerous things than that.
Right.
Well, I get a firefighter background, so my biggest thing is I like the fact that it doesn't, no matter what, you can't light it on fire. And if you're concerned about your haunted house lighting up on fire from all that other, you know, material that you put in there, it's a trick. It's a trick. You either use it or you don't.
I like it.
I love it. I love it.
Lie.
So if you want to find more out, if you want to follow and like, you know, Anmore Manor, it's facebook.com Anmore-Manor-Haunted House-Canada.8.
Or just follow the link below.
Yeah,
We'll put a link.
it's in the description. We also have the Fright Fest BC Facebook group, and generally only join this if you're gonna go. And
That's your try.
I'm totally in this group. I'm one of the 243 members. I'm a creeper. And yeah, they do have some people, you know, if you look up Fright Fest BC on YouTube, you'll find different people have done videos that they've went to. And then Ken has his own YouTube channel as well. So you can type in his name, get him thousands of subscribers. That would be awesome.
Yep. We'll put the link in the description.
How-tos and everything. So
and I'm not good at it. I know there's so many how-tos out there. So
I love your how-tos. Whatever. Shut up.
yeah, okay.
And I'm going to plug my YouTube channel, Ben's Pumpkin Spice Reviews. Just type in Ben's Pumpkin Spice Reviews, and yeah, I get 30 views per video. It's amazing.
Nice.
Where is is that? I don't see your stuff. I see lots of pumpkin spice reviews.
Just Ben's Pumpkin Spice Reviews on YouTube, and you'll find some goofiness.
Yes, really down for finding.
Oh, there you go.
You found it? Put it up. Bring it up before we leave. Bring it up.
There you go.
It's got a catchy tune too. Play the tune.
Play the tune. The suspense is killing me. Really?
Oh, I probably should have been sharing that the whole time.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on.
I'm discount.
This is awesome.
Oh my god.
And welcome back to Ben's Pumpkin Spice Review.
Oh,
I'm discount Vincent Price, filling in for Ben.
Discounts.
And
all right. Now, for more than the obvious reason, I can't do that voice any longer. But
oh, I love it, Ben. I love it.
So yes, if you want to subscribe to the Pumpkin Spice Reviews, make sure you look up it is BK Rack or Ben's Pumpkin Spice Reviews, and you'll find all this goodness.
Oh, please tell me there's more than just 4
Oh
videos.
yeah.
No, there is.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm binging tonight.
This is a weekend.
Somehow I managed to pull off one a day, like last October. I don't know how I did that, but yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
And some of them are bad. Look, I mean,
We
some
should
of
have
these-
let off with this. We really should have. We let off with
show.
It was a whole show of just Ben's pumpkin.
Okay. So next year, can we put Ben's Pumpkin Spice Reviews on the list, and
Yes.
he has to talk like
You know what? These are only about a minute or 2 minutes long. We
Doesn't
could add a segment to the show.
Ben's
Once he
Pumpkin
puts out a video, we could just play it on
Yes.
the show.
That's a great idea.
They're not that good, really.
But Ben,
He's
neither is
regretting
this
telling
show.
us.
This has got like at least 60 views. I mean,
Yeah.
this is quality. We're
Yeah,
going for it.
Ben, you have more views than our show. So you're fine.
It's true. It's true.
We think a
Wow.
lot. We think
All right,
highly of
on that
ourselves.
note, on that note, we have to wrap this up tonight. So, Ben and Ken, thank
Ben
you
and
both
Ken.
for coming on tonight. I wish you the best of luck this Halloween season. And anybody want to check them out? Go
Thank
find
you.
them. Put the links in there in the description below. And you guys have a great night. That's it. That's all I got. Before we leave, Troy, what's going on next week?
Oh, so our last episode of actual people guests. I know. We're gonna have 2 more shows. The next show is going to have Bob Cole from the Infestation Haunt in Michigan.
Yes.
And right now he is almost done with the giant scorpion, but he calls it something else. So yes, he makes amazingly gigantic things.
Yes.
So we will have him on to show all sorts of things. It's going to take me a full week to get all of his videos and stuff in here. So be prepared.
Yes, and then we'll have our wrap up final end of the season videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little montage video of all the highlights and all the lowlights of the show.
I was just gonna say. Oh man.
And then there'll be fun things to talk about. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. All right, guys. Thank you again for coming
Thank
on.
you. Yep.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Good night.